Hi, I'm Leigh Stimolo. I'm the author of the novel series Dawn, which begins with Dream Divers, She Will Awaken the Truth, and the sequel, Dawn, She Will Awaken the World. I'm actually working on the third book of this trilogy, and I'm here to talk about my experience in FTP, Full-Time Purpose by Aaron Doughty, and company, Vic and Matt Shaffer, I believe. They're doing a free 3-week program called Conscious Business Accelerator, CBA. And it kind of ends with a very intensive daily group meeting with Matt, or at least the one I did in February did, which I showed up full time and took every bit an ounce of that information and digested it and took my notes that I needed to take for my personal development, as well as for my continued thoughts on branding myself so that I could reach my audience, so that I can get these books, which I really wrote first as a screenplay for both of them, because I'm a filmmaker and I really can't wait for these to be films. Anyway, I'm just here to kind of give my experience of the FTP program. I have to be honest, I've gone through a very transformational period recently, and part of that is just immersing myself in everything metaphysical that has been available. So I am a pro member of Mind Valley because I was interested in the Regan Hiller program. I've also since done some of the energy work with the other fellow. I'm forgetting his name, I'm sorry. And I've gotten some good stuff from him. I've also kind of checked out what their format is for curriculum. Prior to this transformation in my life, I worked as a media producer, web developer, photographer, videographer, director, filmmaker, animator, web developer, and designer at Harvard University in the sciences. So I have the experience of creating a curriculum, a digital curriculum, shooting it, editing it, doing all the formatting for it. But I have to say that there's a real big difference between being the talent, being in front of the camera, and being behind the camera, which is what my experience has been. So I have to say that the short takeaway I have is I really enjoyed a lot of what Matt was putting down late night, and I just couldn't believe the stamina this guy had, and also the energy he brought to this idea of sales and kind of reworking your ideology about, is your time worth anything? I mean, I'm not going to use all of the phrases that stuck out for me that I now use for myself in certain scenarios, but I definitely believe that I was going to do the VIP or the group additional training, or I don't know what they call it, but the coaching program they have that's paid, which is why obviously they're offering this free intro to kind of see who's out there and give them that information and see if they're ready for that next step. I am ready for the next step. Okay. Basically, I think the most valuable element for me is not how to do production, et cetera, et cetera. It's having a like-minded group of people, kind of your cheerleaders, your team that you have behind you. That's what I'm seeking by joining the FTP CBA group coaching segment, which I believe opens up on the third week of the FTP CBA program. And I'm also looking to find out more about affiliate marketing, which really is like, I need to connect to my audience. It's great being a creative person, and yes, it takes time and effort to do your craft, but then you get your craft done and you're so excited, and then where does it go? Well, when it doesn't go anywhere and you really don't have access to those gatekeepers, say the higher up publishers or producers or agents for writers, then you're kind of at a loss. So I really saw and do see social media and creating my own brand and offering free content about the stuff that really excites me, which is why I write these books and screenplays. And I am also a musician, singer, songwriter, and more of my music has been less angsty as when I was in my 20s and going through all the stuff. And not that I'm not going through all the stuff, but I'm in a way different place about my understanding of who I am and who I can be and need to be versus I don't have to get permission from anybody. And so now my music is more focused on kind of the self-help, positive, like make a change is the name of one of the songs. All I have to do is be myself is another song. So like it's more my own kind of mantras that I'm able to sing, which is just like mixing all the best of all the worlds together for me. So anyway, would I recommend people tuning in for the FTP CBA? Yes, definitely, especially if you're a go-getter, multitasker, someone who really does well with cheerleading versus, you know, kind of getting beat up. If you're looking for a group to feel like you're not alone, if you want to chat, like you can chat people up and you make connections with other people of like-minded, you know, there's a lot of spiritual practice people in this group. There's also a lot of creatives like myself, and that really is exciting. You know, there's musicians, there's painters, photographers, singers, everything, all different kinds of stuff, like, and even really niche stuff that you wouldn't even think of that is creative and in the arts realm. So I feel like, yeah, this is a great space to be in, to meet like-minded people. I mean, really, I think this seems like a space that you'd want to be in 24/7, to be honest. I mean, I'm thinking, I actually started a Facebook page afterwards called Conscious Healing After Party, because, you know, once the party shut down and they limit your access, or you post something that I guess the admins think is not appropriate. I mean, I had a question about channeling. I'm doing auto writing now to channel. It's sort of a medium question that I had, and a lot of people responded. I found it really helpful. And then days later, it was flagged as being something wrong with the material. I don't know. It was just a question, and the group seemed to respond. So how wonderful to have a space that lives all the time, that people can always tune into and always get this kind of information, and have the live sessions. The live sessions are great because when other people are brought on, maybe it's not exactly your question, but a lot of times you will find that you get a lot of answers, and it's interesting, again, to hear other people's stories. That's really the whole point of social media is, you know, other people are interesting. So yeah, I would definitely give it a complete thumbs up. It's worth your time. You get what you put in. I mean, I was there every waking hour, like, even when I would be like, Matt, how do you still have energy, Matt? Like, it's 9 o'clock at night, dude, go to bed, cut it. But I still hung in there until he did. So who's worse? I don't know. You know, Aaron's Aaron, if you've seen him on social media, you know, he's always got really great insight with inner child and kind of the daddy issues and the stepmom thing. And I resonate with that as well. And then Vic, he seemed really quiet. I didn't know how I felt about the quietness of him to begin with, but Vic is great. The breath work was worth it. Again, I was like, okay, how many more songs are we going to do this breath work? But I really had some amazing visualizations and breakthroughs in my understanding of myself. I don't need to get into all that, but very worth it. So each of these guys really do have their niche or their niche or their whatever you want to call it, their niche. And they all have something worthwhile to say. Who you might resonate with more might change depending on what they're talking about. Matt certainly knows all about the production elements of you know, putting together a channel. I believe that he used to do that for another self-help guru. So he had a lot of information, very specific information about that. Like I said, Vic was more about the breath work, and the second breath work I thought was even better than the one in February that I experienced. I feel like he definitely has been honing that, the music, what kind of breathing, how long it goes. I think it was even tighter this second time, and I really enjoyed it. So want to just say thank you guys for doing this, and thank you to your significant others, the Matt's girlfriend. I don't know if she was on this time yet, but she was on it last time, and she had her own experiences she shared. And Vic's wife or girlfriend, she's a singer, and has sang songs during the breath work. That was very interesting. Again, I really have no complaints. It's free. These folks have given their time. Obviously, of course, everybody needs to make a living. So there's that element. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I mean, if I could ask you to pay me right now for this, I would. And I'm not kidding. I wanted to say I'm just kidding, but I'm actually not. Because why not? If it's something, I'll go pay to buy this drink to drink, right? Why wouldn't I pay to watch something that's making my life better, right? Anyway, I'm Leigh Stimolo. I'm the author of these books. Yeah, Dream Divers and Dawn. And they're available on Amazon, self-published. So just go to Amazon, then select the book department and put in the name and you will find it. I'm also under the authors as well. And I also have music out there too, which you can sample on Apple Music or any of the music platforms. So check me out. I'm going to start posting more and on the regular. I got a lot of stuff that I've been boiling down from listening to all these other great people. And I just really am excited to connect with everyone, find my tribe, and, have us all have a really great year. So I'll see you next time.